I stopped translating for my mother-in-law and her lawyer billed her. I speak 4 languages. My mother-in-law speaks 1, and it isn't English, which is why for 6 years I've been the person sitting next to her at every doctor's office, every bank, every school meeting for my kids, translating word for word while she nodded like I was furniture. I didn't mind at first. Honestly, I liked being useful. She'd pat my hand and say, "You're a good girl, better than my own daughter," and I'd feel warm about it for maybe a week until the next appointment came up. Then the estate thing started. Her husband, my father-in-law, passed almost 2 years ago, and there was property back home tangled up in his name, and a lawyer here handling the paperwork on this end. Suddenly, I wasn't translating a flu diagnosis. I was translating clauses, percentages, who inherits what, and that's when I started noticing the pattern. "Tell him I want the house to go to Marco," she'd say, meaning my husband. So I'd tell the lawyer. Then 2 weeks later at the next meeting, "Tell him I never said that. Tell him I said the house goes to my daughter." I'd sit there with both versions in my mouth. When I gently reminded her what she'd told me last time, she'd wave her hand. "You misheard. Your accent is bad. You always mix things up." My accent, in her language, that I speak better than she does now. It got worse. She started using me to say things she'd deny later. "Tell the lawyer my daughter pressured me," she said once. And then, when my sister-in-law found out and screamed at her on the phone, she looked me dead in the eye and told the whole family, "I never said that. Elena made it up. Who knows what she's really telling that man in English?" That was the line. In one sentence, she turned me from the good girl into the liar who might be stealing the estate through mistranslation. And I realized she wanted that. A translator who could be blamed is worth more than one who's accurate. I called the lawyer's office myself the next morning. "I need to let you know I won't be interpreting for Mrs. Ricci going forward," I said. "Anything she's told me in the past you should treat as unconfirmed. You'll want a certified interpreter on record." He went quiet, then said, "Honestly, that's the right call. For a matter this size, we should have had one from the start. I'll arrange it." I didn't tell her. I just stopped answering when she'd call the day before an appointment with her list of things I was supposed to say correctly. The certified interpreter cost $280 an hour. Court certified, sworn, every session logged. And because the estate documents had to be re-reviewed to make sure nothing had been entered wrong the first time around, the lawyer's office ran the clock, re-interviewing her, reconfirming every claim she'd made through me, line by line. She got the invoice 3 weeks later. I know exactly when, because that's when my phone lit up. She didn't call me. She called Marco, crying, and I could hear her through the speaker from across the kitchen. "Do you know what your wife did? She abandoned me. Now they charge me $900 just to talk. $900 for what I got free before." Marco looked at me. I shook my head once. He put the phone to his ear and said, "Ma, if it's free, it's not free. Somebody's paying, and you decided it was gonna be Elena's name on the mistakes." She switched languages then to hers, fast, the one she thought I couldn't be trusted in, and said, "She turned you against your own mother. You'll see." And Marco, who has understood every word his mother has said his entire life, answered her in the same language, slow and clear so there'd be no mistranslating it. "No, Ma, I understood you fine. That's the problem. The certified interpreter still bills her every 2 weeks. She pays it because now there's a record, and a record can't say it misheard."